In the second phase, researchers perform a feasibility study to identify the unknown variables at play, design the device prototype, and select the key materials and components of the device. Then in phase 3, the researchers build a device prototype according to the needs they have gathered from potential users. A prototype is an early version of a medical device. This proof of concept is used to test the device in a controlled laboratory setting. The activities conducted here aim to mitigate the identified risks of the device. But what happens if new risks are identified at this stage? The risk matrix is a live document. This means that in each phase of the product lifecycle, you will need to update your risk and benefit analysis. As the product's functions become more apparent, and as the requirements are updated and made more specific, you can update your analysis and create a design FMEA, Failure, Mode, and Effects Analysis form. Once you have a clear proof of concept, you can update your design and development plan with the pending actions, the identification of all requirements, and the validation and verification plan. The output of the design work completed in phase 2 includes product drawings, components, materials, parts, pieces, product material specifications, work instructions, a user guide, etc. The final output of the design is the product's prototype or prototypes. The prototype is tested based on all of the requirements and inputs gathered from the identified user needs and regulatory requirements. Planning, design, review, and approval occur continuously through this phase. The aim of this process is to create a list of actions to reduce the risk of device failure and end-user harm. Here, you must perform a series of validations using your prototypes to ensure the device meets user needs and the intended use. The next step is the clinical trial evaluation for any devices that require this process. A reminder before we continue. Don't forget to update your risk and benefit analysis once you complete your clinical evaluation of the device. The device must be registered with the UDI, Unique Device Identification Database, of either the EU or the FDA. This is a critical way of ensuring traceability in order to improve user safety. The UDI promotes more accurate reports of adverse events, a reduction in medical errors, and the more effective handling of complaints and recalls. Once you get the proof of concept and prototype, the output of the design and development phase is a list of user requirements that you can transform into clear and comprehensive device specifications. Accordingly, the next step is to design and create your device based on the user needs and the specifications you've just listed. In this phase, you will focus on the operational qualification, OQ, and performance qualification, PQ, of your device by completing a defined number of small-scale manufacturing pilot runs, collecting critical to quality data for statistical analysis in order to confirm the device's process capability. The qualification is usually performed in the worst conditions to obtain valuable information about the process window that will allow the final products to be acceptable. This process is useful for obtaining critical quality attributes, CQAs, and then determining how to keep them under control during production. In this phase, stability testing results and shipping trials will prove essential to your technical documentation. After completing these studies, the technical documentation will be ready for submission and review by a competent authority, depending on the device's class type. If you plan to market your products in the EU or get certified according to the EU MDR, then you should register with an EU database known as the EUDAMED system. Once the medical device and the QMS are certified by a notified body, the device is ready to market. From there forward, your organization will grow acquainted with regular inspections and audits. These are an effective way to identify nonconformities from batch to batch variation. The manufacturer is required by authorities to gather data from customers, such as users, patients, hospitals, technical operators, distributors, and other entities. Data should be analyzed regularly in the risk management process. These data gathering activities include the post-market clinical follow-up and post-market surveillance, which are required by the EU MDR. The quality department must have a system in place for controlling customer complaints and feedback, product recalls, and post-market activities. That's all for now. Thank you for attending this course. I hope you found it useful and that you learned what you expected. We look forward to seeing you in other courses here at the Scilife Academy so that you can continue on your learning journey.